Hi, I'm Natalie Blundell. I'm riding my amazing horse Algebra in the 2012 Adelaide 4-star competition. Yeah, but actually Algebra's really relaxed this time. Like normally he's really hard to even get into the start box. I think finally at 14 he's starting to mature. And I think the worst thing a little bit, you look up at the screen and you see someone run off and you're like, oh, okay, I'm just about to go off. Someone's had a run out, but yeah, then you just got to not look and just keep going. And off we go. 3, 2, 1. I think I got a really good gallop spot. I sort of fanged this a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, and that was a really good start because sometimes if you back off a little bit, then you kind of then you start getting into that pattern. So even though I probably saw a little bit of a gung-ho stride, it just does get you into that, okay, let's think forward to your jumps. I never tend to think it's this windy when you ride. I didn't even know the sound was on.
You can actually hear how fast you're going when you get used to watching these things.
Yep.
You can, like, now the wind's gone, and then when you'll speed
Yep.
up, hear the wind come back up again.
I had a really good coursework with Andrew Hoy, and he was really good. He helped me a lot with just where to be, and I had a lot of good advice on how to ride the course. So yeah, it gave me a lot of confidence and just that added experience eye, and yeah, so he travelled really well and pretty much did everything that I almost had planned. But this is coming up to number 5. This is probably the fence for me. It was going to possibly cause the most trouble, mainly because he's usually a very keen sort of horse, so he'd probably jump this and want to gallop back to the stables, but he did jump this quite well, and I felt like I was skiing a little bit off the left rein, but he's very honest and kept jumping it, so that was probably, even though it wasn't necessarily the toughest fence on the course, one that I thought maybe he could have a glance off just because he'd be a little fresh for the turn. Coming down to the biggest jump on the course, just made that feel like it was a pony club fence, which is nice. I think it's always hard. You get through the trees. Here is just absolutely, there's just so much to see, and you've got to really be thankful to have a horse that's not so spooky. Like, I think it's really hard work if you've got a horse that's really looky on this course. And Algebra is just like, he locks onto his fences, and once he's locked on, you just know he's going to jump them. And coming up to the angle brush, it rode quite well. Like I thought he was going to drift a little left, and then coming to this rode a lot tougher than I thought. I thought it would walk quite easy, but I really had to hold onto that left rein to make sure he wasn't going to glance off, and I think there might have been a little bit of trouble with the old glance off there. Coming down to the water, this arrowhead, it was a very long bounce, so I really sort of wanted to hit it with a little pace, but then you've got an arrowhead, so you've got to make sure they're looking at it as well. And he did just jump a big jump, like he really leapt into that water, and I was like, whoa, I usually like sitting forward, but I didn't think I did that time. And yeah, locked straight onto that arrowhead that everyone's having trouble with. It didn't even feel like he was going to go sideways at all. You can see he's really enjoying his job. His ears are pricked the whole way. He's like, where am I going? Which is the next jump? So this fence, the 3 strides, walks 3 and 3, but I did walk it this morning thinking, oh, he might might chip a fourth one in there if I get over this. And I actually did. He's got a little stride. He's only 15.3, so there's actually never any real trouble if I decide to quickly do a 3 or 4 on him. I kind of make the decision generally when I jump. Yep, this felt great just coming up. They always feel like they stall in the air, but he just cruised over it easily. I lost a little bit of time. I was a little bit behind my minute markers here. I wasn't panicking, so I knew there was a long gallop towards the end of the course, but I was just happy that he was in a really good rhythm and looking where he was going. I think these double of apexes for me was probably of the toughest. They're very tall, and it's probably not even the line on it, the jumps itself. They were big. They were on an okay line. It was just the approach was really tough, like just about a 90-degree turn, and so it works quite along too. And okay, yeah, the plan was to do 2. I think we kind of chipped a third. I got in a little holing deep, but my main aim was to really keep him straight because there wasn't a lot of room for error there in straightness. So. And as I said, he's really clever. Like he sort of, when you take off the first one, you kind of know whether you're going to get the 2 or be able to just sort of hold for 3. I'd prefer to get the 2, obviously, to get a bit better times. But as I said, today my main objective is to get a really good clear round. Water, huge drop. I did plan, I think, sitting forward again, but he just jumped through this. He just locked onto everything. Yep, it just felt good. It felt very easy in rhythm. It's just a matter of just steering him to where he's got to go. So I think that minute marker back there was for this fence, so I certainly was about 20 or 30 seconds at least by then anyway. And what you think with a big long gallop on this course, it's not really any, like, you still got to slow up a lot for lots of little turns, and the corridors are quite narrow, so you kind of like, to get a nice turn is you do have to slow up a fair bit. I mean, if you really wanted to get the horse skiing sideways to go around them, that's a lot of risk. And I did have a fall here a few years ago off a corner. He just slipped over on the turn, so I guess I'm a little bit more cautious on this course for that sort of reason. This felt great because I knew once I was over this I was pretty much home. We got a really good jump in and a turn, and I just kicked up, and it just kind of worked out really well. Like I get worried if you sort of hesitate at that. That's when you get really weak, and I think that might have happened a few times out there. But yeah, I just landed and kicked, and then the stride came up really well. And the second last fence, the double of houses. Either a short 4 or a long 3. But, as I said, with the smaller horse, 4 was quite easy, so he did that with no trouble at all. Yeah, and home finish, and I was very happy with my little boy. Very excited.